Hi everyone, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm doing a full face of my project pen items. Someone recommended me to do this video and I thought it was really fun, so that is what we're doing today. This look I created with all of my project pen items and then some other ones as well. But if you are new here, then hi, welcome to my channel. I'm so glad you found it. I upload beauty videos 3 times a week and I would love it if you subscribed. But for now, if you want to see my full face of project pen items, then please keep watching. So hi everyone, here I am without any makeup and we're going to do a full face of project pen items. Now I will say I don't have a project pen item in every category. So in the categories that I don't have a project pen item, I'm actually going to be randomly taking one from my collection that I think is interesting to use with this look. I am just going to start with applying some sunscreen. This is not in my project pen, but it is a necessary step. I'm going to be using the Summer Fridays Shade Drops Mineral Milk Sunscreen. I really like this. This is a really good sunscreen, you guys. Now this is a mineral sunscreen, which I do prefer, but as you can see, once I'm rubbing it in, it's just not leaving as much of a white cast as most mineral sunscreens do. Because I'm applying 2 fingers, it does show a little white like at the beginning. I feel like in my viewfinder it looks like I have more of a white cast than I actually do, but when I look in the mirror in the back of me, it's actually not that bad. There is pretty much no white cast, so I have been really enjoying this sunscreen. So now for foundation, I actually don't have one in my project pen, so I'm going to be using the By Beauty Changemaker foundation. I have this in the shade L20 and I do really like this foundation. But what I'm actually going to be doing is I'm going to be mixing this foundation with the Glow Recipe Watermelon Dew Niacinamide Dew Drops, because this is going to make the foundation a bit more lighter coverage and a bit more glowy. And this is in my project pen. I've been finding many ways to use this and I really enjoy this one. What I usually do is just divide this on my face. And then I just like to take 1 or 2 pumps of this and I basically just put this also on my face, and then with a brush we're going to be mixing this all together and it's going to be a gorgeous like glowy skin tint. So I'm just taking my kabuki brush and blending that all into the skin, and really these dew drops make the foundation so much more glowy and a bit more lighter coverage, and I just really like using it in this way. Can you just see how nice and glowy that looks? I really love this. So now that that is blended into the skin, I'm going to be using my Charlotte Tilbury concealer, the Retoucher. I also don't have a concealer in my project pan. I was considering whether to put this one in a project pan, but you're like unable to see how much product there is still left in here, so I find that a little annoying for a project pan. Like with my project pan items, I like to see the progress that I'm making, and with this type of product, like I would have to weigh it and it's just not super convenient. I have this in the lightest shade, which is One Fair, and this is a really pretty light coverage glowy concealer, so I really like this type of concealer with a glowy skin tint look like this. So now that is nice and blended, I'm actually going to be using the same brush, and then I'm taking my Tarte Sea Breezy Cream Bronzer in the shade Seychelles. This one is also in the project pan. I sort of forgot about this ever since I got the Charlotte Tilbury Cream Bronzer, but now I've sort of like rediscovered this in my collection. I'm just putting this on my face like that and then just blending. And this bronzer just really warms up the skin very, very beautifully. Look how nice and glowy that looks. I'm really loving this base. But now let's apply some setting powder because I feel like I'm looking a little too glowy. So the setting powder that made its way into my project pan is the Kosas Cloud Set powder in the shade Breezy. This is what the progress is currently looking like. So as you can see, this one I'm using quite a bit. I'm not the biggest fan of this powder. I think it's fine, but it's not my favorite thing ever. I'm just going to apply this basically all over my face. I just like to put powder everywhere, and since this is more of like a lighter coverage powder and a little bit more finely milled, it's not going to mattify as much. I do feel like it is more of a finishing powder rather than a really like strong mattifying like setting powder. I feel like if you have a very oily skin, this is definitely not going to be enough. So that's like my only downside with this powder. I do like how it looks on the face, but I just feel like for the price and everything, it's not really a setting powder in my opinion. It's more a finishing powder. You can set your face with it like I'm currently doing, but you do need quite a bit of product for that. And also I have this in the shade Breezy. I think I could have gone for a lighter shade. This does deepen up my complexion just like the tiniest bit, I feel like. But it's fine, I use it, and that's why it's in my project pan. As you can see, I'm taking quite a bit of powder, and that is not because I'm like super oily. I just don't like it when my makeup feels sticky to the touch. So that's why I'm just applying like a bit more. I'm just going to use the tiniest amount of my airbrush bronzer from Charlotte Tilbury. Again, this is in the project pan. I'm not going to use too much because I already look like so bronzed, but I just want to add a little bit of more definition to the cheeks here. For powder blush, I'm just going to be using this one from Tarte. This is not in the project pan, but it is a beautiful shade, and I just feel like wearing this today. Just taking my blush brush. I sort of forgot I had another cream product in my project pan. The Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Light wand in the shade Spotlight, but I am just going to apply a little bit of this on top of the powdered complexion. And this was a product I was talking about where I can't really like measure the progress I've made. So let me know what your advice is on how I should measure like the progress of this. Someone said I should weigh it, but I forgot to do that. So I wonder if there was like an easier option. And this is a really pretty soft highlighter. So for brows, I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Brow Lift. Again, not in my project pan, but my favorite brow product. So now that the brows are done, I'm going to move on to eyeshadow, and I'm going to be using the Natasha Denona Midi Retro for this. I'm not super inspired by this palette anymore, but I'm so close to hitting pan on the shade Andy that I just want to try to hit pan on this today. Every time I use this, I'm like, I'm going to hit pan now, and then I don't, but I still want to try it. Maybe we can do it today. I'm just going to take the lightest shade called Maud, and I'm just going to put that all over the lid, basically just to set the eyelids. Then I'm just going straight in that shade Andy and putting that in the crease. We just hit pan on the shade Andy, yay! Then I'm taking the shade Nude Mauve. I'm just going to deepen it up a little bit with that shade. Taking the shade Nude Mauve on the lower lash line. And then I'm taking a tiny bit of the shade Rebellion and see if I can slightly deepen this look up with that shade. And I'm going to be taking the shade Glitz all over the lid. So that was it for the finished eye look. I'm now going to apply some mascara off camera, and then I'll be back for the final steps of this makeup look, which are lips and setting spray. So I'm back. I just did a fun green eyeliner off camera. I thought that would be fun. Now for lips, I'm going to apply a little bit of a Love Trap lip cheat from Charlotte Tilbury, and then of course my Dance Floor Princess lipstick. So that is it for my lips. The only thing left is to apply a little bit of my Airbrush Flawless setting spray. So let's spray a little bit on my face. And I love this setting spray. It smells really nice, really makes your makeup last all day. So now off camera, I'm just going to do my hair nicely, and then I'll be back to share my final thoughts on this look and my project pan items. So then this is it for the finished makeup look using my project pan items. I really like how it turned out. Hey guys, we have hit pan. I reached another one of my goals. I thought this was going to take so long, but this palette, I was kind of like done with it. I do like using it, but I was just feeling a little bit uninspired with this palette. So I'm so happy that I have at least managed to reach my goal. So I'm so happy about that, and I also really like how the look turned out. So if you did enjoy this video, then I would absolutely love it if you gave it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell if you don't want to miss any of my videos. All of these things would help me so much with my channel, and I'd really appreciate it. But with that said, I want to thank you guys all so much for watching. I really hope you have an amazing day, and I really hope to see you in my next video. Bye!